What is going on Facebook and YouTube? How are we doing tonight? TJ Addis coming to you live once again from Summerton, South Carolina with the AddisAdvantage.com. And sorry about the dogs carrying on. But yeah, I have a special guest tonight. Very special guest tonight. Cam Fatz, aka Cam Jennings. And yeah, let's get ready to get this party rolling and shoot. There he is. There's Cam, my dude.
Hey, what's up, TJ? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, brother. Doing great. Get my banners up here. And yeah, so this is day 309. I got a special guest on for you guys tonight. My man from Ohio, Cam Fatz, a.k.a. Cam Jennings. He's with EpicConversions.com. He has the Epic Conversions podcast. And yeah, so that's my man right there. He is like a WarriorPlus Pro product launcher and host of Epic Conversions podcast. And guys, if you don't get some value tonight, I don't know what's wrong with you. You must be brain dead. So how's it going tonight, Cam?
It's going great, man. Thanks so much for having me on. And this is 309 days in a row for you live streaming?
Yes, it is. 309, man. It's been a long, long, hard road.
Awesome.
But yeah, so if you could tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Cam, and if I haven't done a good enough job, I probably haven't.
No, man. You actually, that's great. That's exactly right. And you know, before I even get into anything I wanted to talk about, I just want to say, man, 309 days. My hat's off to you. Okay, that is freaking awesome. And when I think about, you know, what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur and a businessman online, that's probably the key ingredient. Not giving up, just staying consistent, doing what you have to do every single day, even through the tough times. So maximum respect, my friend.
Well, thank you, brother. You know, I had tried to do it before and failed epically. But you know, my heart wasn't in it before, and this time I said, screw it, I'm going for it. And I put my word out there, and like I always say on these lives, it's my commitment to staying committed, and I'm doing it. But it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot to come every day, man, and have something to say.
I love that, man. I love hearing stories like that, and my hat's off to you. I think a lot of new people, that's some of the thing that they struggle with, actually, is just having that commitment and just the commitment to continue to do something when you haven't really experienced any success with that thing is hard for a lot of people. It's difficult because you have to rely on faith alone sometimes. Yeah, sure, you've heard all these stories from other people who have done great things, but you haven't done it yet yourself, and you're stuck with this thing and you're trying to make it work and you're trying to maintain the faith, but that's really hard when you haven't seen any true success yet. So I think that holds a lot of people down, and it's challenging. For me personally, you know, I started with Amazon. I lost my job in 2010. I went back to college for business. While I was at college, I was tapping into my 401k, and you know, it was tough. It was tough to go back to school for business instead of just going on and finding another job, doing what I was already doing, because that was like the quick path to the money, and this was like a weird path because I didn't know anything about business. I was trying to go back to learn about it, and I was taking this leap of faith. It was hard and it was scary and it wasn't easy. While I was there, I figured out I could sell textbooks on Amazon, and I started doing that, and then that expanded into selling all kinds of books on Amazon. Pretty soon I was making this full-time living selling books on Amazon, and then I wrote an ebook about selling books on Amazon, and what happened was the ebook, it was not really selling as much as I wanted it to, So I started a YouTube channel to drive traffic to the ebook on Amazon, and the YouTube channel was all about selling on Amazon. And then what happened was it was a little bit better, but it wasn't still good enough for me. So I decided to turn the ebook into a membership program. I took every chapter and I put it on a web page, and then I made a video module around each chapter, like a video, and that became like a module, and that became a membership program, and that worked out pretty good for me. And then what happened was I got into affiliate marketing, and then I got into product launching and all this other stuff. But yeah, that's kind of how I got started with it all, man.
So what drove you? What drove you to get into the Warrior Plus thing and start creating and launching these products over and over and over?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. So when I was selling books on Amazon, I wasn't really a marketer, right? It's not, you can make money selling books on Amazon, but that's not really the same thing as being a marketer. But when I started running that membership program, I had to start figuring out how to drive traffic to the membership program and how to run the membership program, and I started learning about marketing. And two of the people I learned from a lot was Jeff Walker and Frank Kern. And I was studying Mass Control 2.0 by Frank Kern, and I was studying Product Launch Formula by Jeff Walker, and that was kind of teaching me about this idea of creating a product that might sell for a lot of money. And then what happened was I stumbled upon a guy named Alex Jeffries. And Alex Jeffries was creating a different kind of product from what those guys created. He was kind of creating a one problem, one solution product. And this really got me thinking I could do it, and it wouldn't be that difficult. Alex would basically take like a mind map and he would narrate over the mind map, and he just talked through the talking points, and I got a lot of value out of it. And the product that I was really interested in that he put out was called Super List Method. He was basically talking about how to build a buyer's list, and this really got me inspired to get into the product launch arena, and that's kind of how I got started with it. I thought it looked easy. I mean, he made it look easy, but the first product I launched was called Easy YouTube Money Method, because I had figured out how to drive traffic and all that good stuff with YouTube. So I made a product called Easy YouTube Money Method, and I was excited about it. I put a lot of work into it, getting it together and stuff with the sales page and all the stuff that goes into kind of launching a product. And guess what? I didn't sell a single copy of that thing, man. Not a single copy was sold. I just didn't know enough about product launching and all the things required to have a successful product launch. Alex Jeffers made it look easy. Not that he was doing it in a bad way or on purpose, but it's just he was good at it and I wasn't. I was just getting started, so.
Right. Everybody makes it look easy. Everything looks easy until you get in depth into it, and then you're like, oh my God. What now?
Yeah, you're right, man. Absolutely. I mean, look, it's like there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And a lot of people don't understand that. They do a lot of studying, they watch a lot of courses, they read a lot of books, and they feel like they're experts now. But there's a difference between knowing and walking. And look, I mean, Bruce Lee himself could come down and teach you Kung Fu. And then, if you say, well, you know what, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to do professional Kung Fu tournaments for a living. I mean, guess what? You're still going to get your ass kicked several times, and then it's going to be level by level, getting better by better. It doesn't matter who's teaching you. They can reduce the learning curve, but you're still going to have to go through it. Everyone has to walk through the fire.
Right. Well, I got something from one of your podcasts that I was listening to, and he was talking about when you have coaching groups and membership groups where you coach a bunch of people, and then when you have your one-on-one coaching, how the membership groups, when you're just coaching a group of people, you can't get in depth with them and then find out really what the key sticking point the people in the groups have, but you can when you're with your one-on-one coaching clients, and then sometimes that don't even work. You can't even fix their what their hang up is.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And I think that the reason why that is because ultimately coaching is not a golden ticket. I mean, I can give you that great one-on-one help and that one-on-one advice, and at the end of the day, though, I mean, you have to do it. I mean, you are the one that has to make the decision to actually do the stuff. If I do it for you, then as soon as I drop the reins, you're going to fail.
Right. You know, back to determination and commitment. You got to want it. Like, you know, it's an old adage. You got to want it as much as you want to breathe. And I've said it several times on this show that I'm not going to quit, because who knows, I might be 5 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever the case may be from that breakthrough point. And if you quit, you never know. But in success, but to have any kind of success that you're going to have, there's going to be failure. And a lot of people can't grasp that thing. Failure is not something bad. It's something good to help you learn, you know?
Yeah, you're right, man. It's so true. I mean, when I see the idea of failure doesn't even really, it's like data for me. It's like I see this is not working. I see here's where it's breaking down, and I adjust it and move on. I mean, I don't think, honestly, dude, I've never made it to another level of success without moving into a territory that was uncomfortable for me. I always had to do something that was uncomfortable to get to another level. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up. Everybody says, hey man, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, until they hit something that they don't really want to do. And then they find ways to avoid that thing or get around it. And it usually ends up holding them back. I'll give you an example. You know, a few years ago, I was talking to a guy who was probably a few steps above me, and he said, hey, man, why aren't you doing webinars, dude? And I said, man, because I hate webinars, dude. I don't want to do webinars, you know? I just didn't want to deal with the technology of it. And he said, well, do you hate money? Because that's where the money's at right now, man. And I was like, well, no, I don't hate money. I just, you know, so there was nothing I could say. I should have been doing it, but I wasn't.
That was the thing a couple years back, you know, 3 years back. Webinars is all webinar, and everybody was just crushing webinars, man.
Yeah, right. And you know, the funny thing about that story is I never did do webinars, man. I never did overcome that and do webinars. I just did not want to do them. And I think that is a good example of these little hang-ups that people have to get over if they want to see some success online. Because yeah, I might be in a place where I'm a little successful online, more successful than some, less successful than others, but the truth is I'm sure I lost lots of money not doing webinars a couple years ago. Another one is I'm kind of a control freak with everything around my business. Every time I hire somebody to do something, I feel like I got to go back and redo it myself, which is nonsense. It's absolutely annoying, and that keeps me from moving to another level. So it's not just brand new people that have to deal with this stuff. Everybody has to deal with these little hang-ups that keep them from getting to the next level. Now, if you happen to be brand new and you haven't made any money online yet, then hey, you got your own little set of hang-ups that you're going to have to overcome to get you to your first $10 a day or your first $100 a month or whatever. You're going to have to deal with that little set of hang-ups. But everybody's got them, man. You're not like cursed or some kind of space alien or anything if you can't make it work.
I'm so pleased that you agreed to come on tonight, man, and share a little bit of your knowledge and stuff like that. It's awesome to have you, and but yeah, man, you've made a difference in me, and you reached out to me one time when I was at a low point. I was about ready to say, you know what, screw this. Now I'm at the point that I'm thumbing my nose at Facebook. I'm like, you know what, screw you guys. I'm going to keep going just to spite you guys. And it helps to have, you know, people encouraging you behind the scenes and people don't realize that, you know, lift somebody else up. You see somebody winning, lift them up, man. Cheer for them. Because jealousy and resentment ain't going to get nobody nowhere. And I see that a lot. And I've seen that a lot since I've been in this game for the last 4 years or so now.
Yeah, you're right, man. Absolutely. And it's funny you were mentioning that because there was two products I did a while back about that exact same subject. One was called Parabolic Content Engine, and then the other one was called Mesolimbic Marketing. And both of them revolved around doing content and putting content out there that really kind of like reflected content that other people did as a way to kind of shout out those people but get results also. And it really kind of revolves around this idea of the law of tenfold return, which is this old kind of like adage that says, hey, whatever you put out there will come back to you tenfold. So yeah, and I believe it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, if you haven't caught Cam's podcast, you guys need to check it out. It's EpicConversions Podcast. And man, he's dropping some fire on that stuff, boy. I listened to like 4 of them today. And I started doing some those anchor podcasts, but I had to back up and punt because I had so much other stuff going on. When you're spread, and I've said this a lot, when you're spread so thin, it's hard to concentrate and focus on one thing in particular. And but I'm going to start getting back into them because I know they're a great way to drive traffic to your website, to your videos, and all that. And you've got a new YouTube channel out, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell people about that.
Yeah, man, cool. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, I got a new YouTube channel. It's called WarriorPlus for Fun and Profit. And basically, I had a few videos that I did on my other YouTube channels where I talked about Warrior Plus here or there as a way to like make money online. And whenever I did a video like that, I got a lot of comments, people asking me questions and wanting me to talk about that more. So I just kind of decided, hey, I want to just make a channel that's just dedicated to this one topic of Warrior Plus and how to use it and how to use it to make money and stuff. So that's kind of what I did with that, and it should be pretty cool. But you mentioned something a few minutes ago that I want to address. You mentioned that you started the podcast, but then, man, you kind of had to just like stop because you had too many arms in the fire. And man, you know what? I run into so many people who are new that exact thing keeps them from seeing any kind of success online. They have their hands in too many different like pots or whatever, so to speak. Basically what it boils down to is they're not being efficient with their energy, right? If you have 100% energy and time and you dedicate 50% energy to this project and you dedicate 50% energy to this project, you think, well, okay, I'm not going to be as 100% as efficient as I would if I was just dedicating it all to one project, but I should still do pretty good. I'm throwing paint at a wall and I want to see what sticks. But the problem is, you're not going to get 50% efficiency from this project or from this project. You're going to get like 25% results from this project, 25% results from this project, and you're going to be left there wondering, why is everything failing? And what people don't realize is you get a diminishing return on the energy and time you put into projects when you start splitting up your time and energy. There's a diminishing return. It basically makes you less likely to succeed at everything. And the reason why is you're half-assing everything. Your mind is not in it 100%, and it just reduces your chances. It compounds the chances of failure when you start focusing on more than one thing at a time. It's different once you actually start making money with something. Then you can kind of like put it on cruise control a little bit and move on.
Like something's getting lost in the translation in between the two. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's exactly right, man. Something is getting lost in the translation. It's getting lost in the shuffle, and they are having a diminishing return on their efforts. And that happens all the time. So I think that the best thing that newer people especially can do is to just put all their efforts into one project and get it earning, right? And then once it's earning and you have a good understanding about it, yeah, you can move into other endeavors. Ideally, you move into other endeavors that adds on to what you're already doing, right? That will add and complement what you're already doing and build upon it. That's the best thing to do, honestly. But then on top of that, the other thing I would say is a big reason why people have trouble moving forward and succeeding is because of systems. no one puts a system in place before they get started. They just kind of jump in, they read a sales page, they get fired up, they hear an email, or they read an email, I should say, they get fired up, and they just buy something and jump in. But the truth is, like, sustainable success online comes from having systems in place, right? You need to have a system in place, and like each part of the system is like it's sectioned out. It's almost, for me, it's almost like an exploding diagram. I can see every part of it, right? I know every part of my system. The traffic right here, the opt-in, the thank you page, the funnel, where it's going. I need to know every part of it. Where is everything coming from? So that way when something breaks down, when something fails, I can just work on that one part, almost like a car, right? I can work on it, I can swap it out with something else, and I think a lot of people don't do that when they're first getting started, and it really screws them up and keeps them down for a while.
And that's when I first come online. I got into the Grant Cardone thing, and he was talking about omnipresence, and it took me several years to figure this out, bro. I'm not, or nobody else is, Grant Cardone with the team, the money, the time, and the effort to be omnipresent. He said, be like Coke. Well, bro, we can't be like Coke. We don't have the budget. He's got a full-time team on each different platform. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, probably TikTok. I don't know because I'm not on there. So, and I've told people this. People's like, well, Grant Cardone said this. Well, I said, are you Grant Cardone? You can't be everything to everybody. You're not there yet. When you get that kind of budget and stuff, maybe. But right now, you need to focus, and that's what I did. I cut all that other crap off, laser focus, Facebook, YouTube. That's where I'm staying. That's my lane, and that's just where I'm. That's just where I have, finally come to the rationale that I can't be at all them places because I'm leaving, like you said, I'm leaving it all in translation. I'm leaving too much stuff out there. I'm getting pulled too many different directions. And when you're doing that, you can't focus and get right to the point of what's going to be paying you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know what? The thing about Grant Cardone, he's awesome, right? But he is $1 million marketer, right? And the thing is, he's running 16 companies. He didn't start out that way. He didn't start out running 16 companies. So the advice that he's giving is from the perspective of $1 million marketer running 16 companies. And like, if you're at like level 0 or level 1 or level 2, a lot of that advice is going to wash right over your head. It's not going to make a lot of sense. I mean, you might like cognitively be able to get it, but you're not going to be able to connect that to you. You're just too far removed from it. People don't get to go from level 0 to level 60 Dragon Slayer. It doesn't work that way, and it didn't start out that way for Grant Cardone. But the thing is, he's so far removed from level 0 that, like, it's just not in his mindset anymore, and he's not there.
And I was hung up on this for the first couple of years when I come into this online game, if you want, per se. I was comparing my level 1 with somebody's level 10. And my God, you can't do that. You want to talk about depression, frustration? You can't do that. You can't compare your level 1 or 2 to somebody's level 10 or 12. That's a game stopper right there. That'll cut you off the knees. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I think that, for the new guy out there or for the guy who's just getting started, what they really need to do is they need to find someone who's just like a step above them, 2 steps above them. Like, if you're not making anything, you need to find the guy who's making like $10 a day or like $100 a month, and you need to go to that guy and be like, hey, listen, man, I'll give you $1,000. Show me how you're doing that. Explain to me how you're making $10 a day consistently. Explain to me how you're making $100 a month consistently. Like, I need to get to that level, right? And the thing is, nobody wants to do that because it doesn't look sexy. It doesn't look appealing. But the fact is, that's truly what they need. You really don't get to jump levels very much. You got to take this stuff in stride. Everybody's got to go through the fire, and that's really what people need, is to move up. They need to find the person ahead of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I got one last question for you tonight, and I probably already know the answer to this, but you've been on all the platforms, and I know the answer to this. WarriorPlus, JVZoo.
Right, like which one's better, right? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. And you know, the truth is, it's really like, it's not about the platform, it's about the audience, right? It's about what audience you have and what kind of email list you have, because an email list is the core of your audience, right? And look, everybody has an audience who is making money on the internet. Everybody from Target to Walmart to Under Armour to Frank Kern to Jeff Walker to, you know, the guy down the street who's doing internet marketing, to me, to anybody who is doing anything online consistently and sustainably, they've built an audience for their brand. All right, so between JVZoo and WarriorPlus, what we have to understand is the purpose of these platforms, right? The purpose of these platforms is to drive affiliate traffic. There's a lot of ways you can drive traffic to your offer when you put a product out there. JVZoo and WarriorPlus are going to help you drive affiliate traffic. And that's the only reason you put your products on there. Because if you didn't have to drive affiliate traffic, if you weren't driving influencer traffic, then you wouldn't take the transaction fee from WarriorPlus or JVZoo. WarriorPlus charges 10 cents plus 3.9% per transaction. Nobody needs to be charged that if they're not trying to get the benefit from WarriorPlus, which is affiliate traffic, attracting affiliates to your offer. So then you think to your mind, like, okay, so how do you get this affiliate traffic, right? And the way you get it is leverage, right? You got to get it with leverage, right? And how do you get what is leverage? What do I mean by that? I mean, like, the ability to say something and have a bunch of people listen to you, right? That is the most powerful form of leverage you can get when it comes to your business. And, you know, how do you display something like that on WarriorPlus? Well, if you go out to WarriorPlus or JVZoo and you promote someone else's offer and you drive a ton of sales to their offer, right? That instantly positions you as someone who has a lot of leverage. That's going to make them want to be friends with you. That's going to want to make them get to know you better. And what's going to happen is that's going to pull you into their circle, and they're going to be interested in promoting you in the future because you just promoted them. And that's going to pull affiliates around you. A lot of these affiliates are product vendors themselves. They're not just affiliates. They also launch their own products, and they're interested in affiliating with other people who can promote their stuff as well. They're looking for alliances, right? And they're not just looking for alliances with people who can't sell anything. They're looking for alliances with people who have leverage. Okay, so what builds leverage, right? Obviously, if you can build an email list and you can keep that email list warm by talking to them, keeping them interested in what you have to say, that builds a lot of leverage, right? Another way is doing exactly like what you're doing, TJ. I mean, doing a live stream every single day on Facebook, it's like a daily show. People watch it, people get used to it, and people listen to what you have to say, right? This builds a degree of leverage. Same with like starting a YouTube channel and doing that consistently, or a review blog, anything, stuff like that builds leverage for your business. It legitimizes your brand a little bit, and it builds leverage. And that's basically the long and the short of it. I personally moved to WarriorPlus back in 2016 when I started EpicConversions. I was launching on JVZoo from my other business, and I moved to WarriorPlus because my perception was that it was a smaller platform and it was easier to network with those other product launchers and affiliates. I thought it was easier to communicate with them. There wasn't as much software being launched on WarriorPlus at the time, so I felt like I fit in better with my information products. Now that's all different now in 2020. Now there's a lot of software being launched on WarriorPlus, so the times have changed, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter about the platform. It matters about your leverage.
And I've noticed, being in, you know, the game and nosing around on both platforms, how often do collaborations form on WarriorPlus? Because you've been there a long time, you know, as far as, product launchers getting together and creating a product together. How often does that take place? Is that something normal?
Yeah, man, it happens all the time. I mean, you'll see product vendors constantly, marketers will constantly be teaming up with each other. If you looked on the top 10 of Warrior Plus right now, you'd see several of those product vendors teamed up. No doubt about it.
Because I see Brandon Mace, he's always promoting with somebody else. And what's that guy's name? Paul. Oh, crap. Brain fart. Yeah. And I see those names just appearing on product after product after product after product, and I'm like, something there's a special sauce going on there, because that don't continue to keep happening if it's not working out.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, you see it all the time. And like, there's a few different ways you'll see it. Like, one you'll see two guys who are very leveraged, right? We were talking about leverage a few minutes ago, about how you build leverage, you build an email list, you get a bunch of people who care about what you have to say. Well, if you got this guy over here who a lot of people care what he has to say, and then you got this guy over here and a lot of people care what he has to say, then those guys will pool their resources and launch a product together. Not only will they have a bunch of customers, but they'll also have a bunch of other vendors and affiliate marketers who happen to know both of them, that are in their sphere of influence, and everybody can make a lot of money. And that's one way you'll see it happening. Another way is you'll see someone who's a good marketer who has a lot of leverage. They'll find someone who's pretty unknown, but they have a really cool way of making money online that they figured out that no one's really ever heard of before. It's kind of unknown. It's an unknown thing. So they say, hey man, listen, why don't we do a product? You'll do the product, I'll do the marketing, and I'll get my affiliate friends together. We'll all promote it, and we'll make a bunch of money. Everybody will make money. It'll be awesome. And that's another way people partner up. And then a third way you'll see people partner up is you'll have two big marketers who are really well known, and they'll go between them and they'll find an unknown guy who has a cool, method or, kind of like thing that they do to make money online. And they say, hey, listen, let's pull you in, and we'll pool all our resources together, and we'll launch all three of us, and everybody will make a ton of money, right? And you'll see all three of those things happening, but most definitely you see a lot of people teaming up. And then you got people like me who just like to launch solo and don't really team up with anybody hardly ever that much at all. But you got all types out there for sure.
Man, it's been super insightful, brother. And I can't thank you enough for coming on and being part of the show tonight. And I hope it gets you EpicConversions, brother, and get you more listeners to your podcast. I can't promise nothing, I know, because I'm just little old me, But I hope that this brings some people to me through you, because you got a huge audience. And but I definitely appreciate you, brother.
TJ, man, you know what? Thanks so much for having me on to be a part of your online streaming journey. I am honored, dude. You've inspired a lot of people, me included, man. I saw you doing streams from the hospital when you were having health problems, and I found it inspiring, man. So to me, it's an honor to be here and be part of your, daily show. It's really cool, man. Great things from you. I see it coming.
I appreciate it, brother. And I thank you once again. You have a good night, man. And probably have you on again if you'd like to come.
Absolutely. I'll come on anytime, man.
All right, brother. You have a good evening, Cam. Peace, man. And that was Cam Jennings, a.k.a. Cam Fatz, from EpicConversions.com and the Epic Conversion Podcast. And, guys, I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. And, yeah, we're going to keep bringing guests on. I haven't got nobody lined up for tomorrow night. But, guys, thank you for being part of day 309. This has been day 309 of my Facebook Live journey. And we're also simulcasting on YouTube, my YouTube channel. Please go there. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to build this channel, and yeah, guys, it's been awesome to spend some time with you guys. And replay viewers on Facebook, #replay. And I appreciate you. I thank you, and come back again tomorrow for day 310.